Man, listen, this whole David D4VD situation is getting even worse. Now, I've covered this for a little while. The singer David dating a 15-year-old Celeste or 13 or whatever age she was. Apparently, David was dating this girl for years, and she would run away from the house and she would come back home and she would run away. And apparently the family knew that she was dating some boy named David, but they didn't know who he was and they thought it was just a classmate. That was the original story. And that's the story that the family, helping police officers, gave out as well. And now I'm starting to realize why an arrest hasn't been made this quickly, because now we're starting to find out more information about the case, and it's not looking good on the family side. I want to point out one thing. This right here is a flyer that the family put out, excluding the picture on the left. Somebody just cropped these together. The picture on the right is a flyer that the family put out. Missing person Celeste Rivas. This is the last time the family claims to have seen her. Why is that even important? I'll tell you right now. It says last seen 4/05/2024. That's right before, that's April. Tell me why there is video evidence from Celeste Rivas' neighbors in September showing that Celeste was at the house. Celeste was at home arguing with the neighbors about Southsiders and using the N word and all types of stuff. So we're going to go back to this video in September. Now, why would there be a discrepancy in when the family claims to have seen her? Why didn't they just say, oh, we saw her around September time and we haven't seen her since? Let's go ahead and get into this video because now the family's looking mad suspicious. Let's check this thing out.
Right there. I'll tell you where that. See that door right there? Number 2, not that.
Right there, that's Celeste talking to the neighbors. Now, let's keep it going. Apparently, they get into a little situation a little bit later.
Number 2 right there.
Let me talk real quick, okay? You gonna let me talk?
I ain't gonna let you talk.
No, you ain't gonna let me talk. Why you not gonna let me talk? You tripping? Nah, you tripping? How about you ain't tripping? You gonna let a woman talk? All right, I'm not gonna let your woman talk.
And even the way she's speaking, you're gonna let a woman talk? You not no woman, you a child. Okay? Now I don't know what they're arguing over, but they're gonna continue fighting. But before we push forward, I just want to point this out. Apparently Celeste's father was home. They have this argument. The neighbors go over to the father, have a conversation about Celeste. So this is not hearsay or anything. The family knew that she was home. Now, this right here goes back to a theory I had before. Her family must have not been structured in the way that they cared for her in the way that you would traditionally believe that a family takes care of their daughter. I had a suspicion that the family probably knew a little bit more than they were letting off. Now, I don't want to say this like to make the family look bad or anything, but this is a possibility that I'm just going to throw out there. What if they did know she was dating this man, right? But he's rich. You have to understand, this is a rich singer. Okay, well, I guess we just won't say anything about it. I'm not gonna say that that's true, but I'm gonna tell you a quick little story real fast, right? One of my friends back in high school, I think we were around 17 or 18. We were just like exiting high school, like figuring out the world. He started dating this girl, right? And she was fast. I even told him, like, bro, she's going to cheat. She's probably already cheating. She's definitely don't fuck with her, right? But he wanted to fuck with her, whatever, you live and you learn. But he had told me something about her little sister. He was like, yeah, bro, when I'm hanging out with her, I see this like little girl hanging out with these like grown dudes and the parents don't even say nothing. And she just leaves and they pick her up and they drive. And so we look into it. Apparently the girl is like 13. This is the family that my friend is dating this girl from, right? Her little sister is moving like her older sister. This shit is crazy. Then we do a little bit more. Belize is small, so you can figure things out real easy. We find out that she's dating somebody who's like 17 years old, almost 18, the little girl. family didn't care. You know why? Because the guy she was fucking, I'm assuming, had a little bit of money to his name. So I say all that to say I've seen some disgusting families firsthand, and it blew my mind. I thought they were just one of a kind. I'm not saying this is the same thing that was happening here, but it's starting to feel that way. But let's continue.
Over here. Again.
Little house, you don't even got a house.
Hey, bro.
You talk to.
Yeah, ain't nobody black right here, homie. We're Southsiders right here, homie. We're Southsiders here. Get it right, homegirl. Shut up with your black talking. Shut up. You talking like you black, girl, with your black talking. Yeah. Yeah. Ain't nobody black right here. What are you talking about? I said we're not black over here. Why you keep calling us? You keep saying this. We're not black. Hey, let it go. Go back to your house.
So she's over here cussing up a storm, mad, and she probably hangs out with David, so she be using the N-word and shit. So they're mad at her. They're like, don't call us the N-word. We're not, nobody's black over here, this and that. And you know, in LA, it's real racial tensions between Southsiders and blacks. Like, you know, in certain dynamics, right? There's real tension in LA for some reason. I don't understand it. But so she's saying that. They're like, girl, shut the fuck up, go back in the house. This is Celeste screaming. This whole little living courtroom plaza heard her. This is after the missing poster went up. Let's continue.
You ain't gonna do nothing, bro. What you gonna do? You ain't no gangster. You ain't nothing, you know me. What you are? What you are but a little girl? What you but a little girl? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What are you
She's
gonna do?
telling him to stop.
You need to go home. Seriously.
I'm not Mexican. I'm Salvador and you tripping.
Oh my god.
Not because you tripping. Move the out of here.
You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit. You better get over there. Get your ass over there, little girl. Go over there, little girl. You ain't gonna do shit. Go. Go. What are you gonna do, bro?
Go call her dad, babe.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, little girl?
So somebody in the house, and I like how he said, what are you gonna do, little girl? He keeps saying, what are you gonna do, little girl? I peeped that when he said it, when I heard it. He kept saying that over and over. It's because she acting like a grown woman. And that's exactly how that little girl we saw was acting. Same shit. Feel like you a grown woman. The reason why is because your parents allow you to do whatever the fuck you want. They could have easily come to the news and corrected it, like, oh no, we saw her this time, but they didn't. Why is that, folks? Why is that? But let's move to something else. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is what you would call a broken rib. If you notice, there's a divot right here compared to the other side of my body. Those are two inwardly bent broken ribs, and they could have been normal. But why aren't they? So I was a lot younger at the time, and I was really into BMX. Long story short, I'm on my way home, and a car from behind me is coming so fast to where he runs me off the road. I fall, I crash, and I break my ribs up. Now, me and my family could have taken legal action, but what goes into everybody's mind the second they think about legal action? It's going to be too expensive. And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring up the biggest injury law firm in the United States, Morgan & Morgan. They will take your case, and they will only pay themselves if you win and you get paid out. $25 billion and 500,000 clients is a lot of money. And that's how much accumulative money they have won over the years. This is why they can afford to have you come in and they only get paid if you win. If you have ever been injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. And you could do that by clicking the link below or check out the QR code that we're about to put up right here. And you could get your claim started today. I'm so thankful for Morgan & Morgan and the sponsorship. Shout them out. And let's get back to this video. Actually, before we move on, it says date September 8th, 2024. Celeste is seen screaming at neighbors, accusing a child of ding-dong ditching her parents' home. Her tirade includes profanity and what may be racial slurs. Well, no shit. A man responds, I'm not black, don't call me that. Neighbors say they recognized her from the missing posters but assumed she'd been found. One even apologized to her dad the next day, who seemed phased. Haunting details. The video was recorded the day after Celeste Rivas Hernandez's 14th birthday and exactly 1 year before her body was discovered in the trunk of David's Tesla. So basically, the neighbors saw the missing posters and confirmed basically that she was found. So nobody even batted an eye. And this is where the inconsistency comes from. And now we have even more information. Apparently, the brother speaking, Celeste's brother. According to NBC LA, Celeste's brother told them that family members who still live in Lake Eleanor are grieving and were aware that the girl knew the singer David. Matthew Rivas said when his sister disappeared, she was on her way to see a movie with him but never returned. I know a lot of people were questioning if the family knew David, and from what her brother said in the interview, they knew. Although Matthew says he communicated with Celeste over the phone, nobody has come forward to say when Celeste was last physically seen. And again, it's going back. You know why the brother's probably talking? Because he realizes that it was wrong. I don't think there's any way you don't know if your daughter's like dating somebody at that age, unless you just really are absent all the time, or you just don't care. Oh, he has a little bit of money. Maybe it's fine. Maybe he could do it. I seen that shit for real happen. So I wouldn't put it past them at this point. And I want to know with all this coming out, I want to know if they're gonna say anything about it. So TMZ found this footage, and apparently they did a little bit more digging. You know, they spoke to the neighbors. I believe that's how they got the Nest Cam footage. So this is verified. And then they actually spoke to apparently another ex-boyfriend of Celeste. Remember, this is a child having ex-boyfriends. That leads me to only believe that the family has something to do with her moving around like this. How do you have an ex-boyfriend at like 13 or 14? It happens, but I'm just saying, it's like, So they speak to the ex-boyfriend, and apparently he spoke so badly about the family, they had to cut certain things out because they couldn't confirm it. He said they abused her in crazy ways. And because of that, she started running away and dating David. They knew about it. They didn't care, this, that, and the other. So we're going to hear from one of the little ex-boyfriends, take it with a grain of salt. But the fact that now people are coming forward and saying like, hold on, no, the family knew certain things, it's crazy to me. Let's check this out.
But we are learning more about Celeste's home life, learning this from some video that we got, and also speaking to an ex-boyfriend who lives still in the same area where Celeste grew up. But he spoke to one of our producers. His young man's name is Damien. Says that he and Celeste started dating when he was either 13 or 14. But he says that she did talk about some trouble at home. And I don't know how much of this is typical teenager, or is there something especially different that was going on there, but this is what Damien...
We should just say, we have edited some specifics out because we have not been able to confirm them, and and we don't want to do this, but he is talking generally. By the way, he's sitting next to his mother.
She said how her mom didn't treat her well or whatever, and she didn't like where she was at.
Did she talk at all about her relationship with her parents?
Kind of. She just said they were mean or whatever. She didn't like them.
What is your last memory that you have of Celeste?
We were at PE, and she told me and my friend that she was running away, and she said it was because of her parents, and she was like joking about it, and she was like happy, like joking like she always was, and like it didn't seem real because like she was like playing around, joking about it. And the next day, she wasn't at school, and like that's the last time I saw her.
Yeah, so she had run away, as you know, and we've talked about several times. She ran away in January of 2024, came back, and police got her in February in Hollywood, and then she ran away in March of 2024. Now, we're told that's the last time the family saw her, although there's some conflict over whether she came back after that.
Well, yeah, so it was interesting, too, his interview. I mean...
Now, mind you, they cut a big chunk out of this, but people are talking on the internet. Apparently, he went in about specifics about what they did to Celeste, which caused her to run away. But they couldn't confirm it, so they wouldn't post it. This is starting to sound a little bit more disgusting than just one person. David is a creep, nasty guy. But at the same time, I'm starting to think that the family might be a little nasty themselves.
Some conflict over whether she came back after that.
Well, yeah. So it was interesting too. His interview. I mean, that matches up with what we're hearing from law enforcement that that she had some type of troubled home life, and that was the reason for her running away, obviously. And then we got this video yesterday, which was kind of shocking because we thought maybe the last time her mom had seen her or her parents had seen her was one of the last times she had ran away.
Right. In spring.
In the spring
of 2024.
So we spoke to a neighbor directly in an apartment right next door to where she lives. They had Nest camera. I believe we're going to
Nest
show
camera
it.
footage that was, this is from September 7th, 2024. And Celeste is the woman you see there. She was arguing with the neighbors because some kids were doing a
the
ding-dong
context
ditch.
of the video is she lived right next door. Kids in the apartment building had ding-dong ditched her house. So she was going over there to confront the kids. And at the time, they didn't. The neighbors didn't really think anything of it. They're just like,
They
oh,
had
this
seen the missing posters, but they was like, oh, well, she's here.
After she left, they were talking. They're like, oh, that was the girl from the missing posters because the family had gone up and down the block with the missing posters back in April.
So wait a minute. So the idea here is that she came back in
September 2024
to her family.
Yeah.
Hey, Anakin, come over here for a second.
we don't know if she was back there staying with them or she just went back to visit.
But she was clearly right next door to her family home on
have
September
a
8th.
we have a mic.
We spoke to Celeste's mother before she was even identified because we got a tip. She only speaks Spanish. Anakin speaks Spanish, and you talked to her.
Yeah.
What we reported was the last time the family saw her was March of
April.
2024.
So
April.
I never got a specific month from her. All I know is that she said that she hadn't seen her for a couple of years until news of her death.
A couple of
Well, it
years.
certainly wasn't a
Till the
couple of
news-
years because
A couple of years. I'm gonna leave it right there, man. Go check out the TMZ video. Go check out the videos for yourself on Twitter because it's not making any sense now. Now it's making me feel like the family knew about David. And let's keep it real. David is a millionaire. He is a millionaire. So I would see the motivation behind it, and it's kind of fucking gross. You guys let me know what you think in the comments, though. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know. But I'll see you guys real soon, man. Stay inside, stay safe. You already know the deal. I'll see you soon. Peace.